The year is 1992 and the company we chose for our project is a company that faced a very humiliating scam from Harshad Mehta. The company which I am talking about is BSE Limited, Bombay Stock Exchange.
Wait a minute. Have you achieved it? Flat mic. Well, pal, as far as I know, Bombay Stock Exchange Limited is a stock exchange and not a company, and we are supposed to make a video of the company.
Hand it back.
Yes.
So you don't know. Well, as of 30th October and 2025, now it's a listed company. BSE has become a public listed company and now you can buy its shares and become its owner.
So for just, let me check, 2,444
44 rupees.
I can be its owner.
Yes.
At least in legal, sir. Okay, please.
Hey, don't laugh. Even I thought you were free once. Till I realized nothing is free in finance, even a free device.
Service number 1. Listing of companies. Listed companies come with BSE and go. Let me explain.
Hey, list my shares. Make me famous.
Sure bro, just pay the listing fees and the annual rent.
Like Netflix for the companies. Pay for a show or a show get cancelled. Service number 2. Share trading platform.
And
This is the stock market playground. BSE gives the swing set, but swings are not free, my friend. Brokers and traders pay transaction and membership fees. Basically, pay to play. Even my gym didn't charge this much. Service number 3. Clearing and settlement. When a trade happens, someone gotta make sure that money and shares actually exchange hands, and that's BSE's job, the middleman referee. And yes, referees also get paid off. So next time, do remember, your fees is paying someone's chai bill at this company. Service number 4. Market data and indices. Sensex the superstar. Every app, news channel and analyst wants live data of BSE. And guess what? They buy it. Breaking news. Market crash. Yeah bro. But someone also paid for it. Service number 5. Mutual fund platform. The Bollywood of mutual fund. Distributor and fund houses. Log in, invest and redeem. Also. And BSE takes a small amount of transaction fee. Tiny but 1,000 times a day. Even my mom's chai stall business doesn't have discount of repeated business.
yo, Shivam, I'm still your mama's customer. Following are the 6 services which Shubham just discussed right now, and now I need to go through each services and how the BSE Limited marketed it. The first service is the trading services. One of the most popular services. It's one of the most popular services, and the census has raised from 30,000 to 80,000 in the last 5 years. Well, one of the main reason is the internet and the rise of UPI platforms, which made the access for an individual customers more easier, and the social media itself. The BSE Limited has a YouTube ads on the Instagram, as well as the B2B marketed, like they sponsored the Grow app, as well as all the apps which are governed by the RBI. Apart from that, they need to compete with the New York Exchange Limited, which has been more active than the Bombay Stock Exchange Limited for the past 5 to 10 years on the social media. And the second service is the listing of companies. This is one of the most important services and probably the primary services where the consumers and the individuals are not involved. Here the organizations are involved, and BSE needs to make itself attractive. How do they make attractive? It's one of the simplest. Word of mouth and the brand image. They do need to make a brand image by calling themselves Asia's oldest stock exchange, one of the safest stock exchange, even though the company faced one of the most financial crises as we saw in the intro in the 1992. So BSE advertised itself, and by advertising, it used the word of mouth, B2B, branding, etc. Not the typical social media advertising, because they do know that the CEOs and the organization don't see that. And by listing, they make the fees, and that's one of the primary sources of revenue, as shown said. Well, clearing and settlement charges is one of the most important charges which BSE Limited need to fight, because revenue is not enough to compensate its cost. So how do they market it? Simply, the minimum cost policy. They do charge so less less. That is approximately 10 to 12 times less than the New York Stock Exchange. So people are more incentivized. It's charged on brokers because they are the one who buy the shares, and we are not the one. The trader are not the one who actually buys. We are the one who holds and buys it from the broker. So the minimum cost policy helps it. Market data. It's almost a free source of money for the BSE Limited. Why? Because they do need to show the Sensex to the public and not by the boards or the digital board which we see on the screen. They do need to license the companies to show the BSE data like Sensex. Sensex is one of the most important. If they want to show it on their news channel, they actually need to pay a license fee to the BSE Limited. Not like a traditional movie license, but yeah, they do need to. And why do companies pay for it? Simply because traders like us are interested how much Sensex is dropped. If the new BJP government is coming or Congress government is coming, how much the Sensex will rise and drop. This is one of the least marketed, but at the same time one of the most popular services which they provide. Last but not the least is the education services of the BSE Institute Limited, which is the part of BSE company itself. Well, they usually target a young demographic on the Instagram, but as well as university meetup and school alumni. Our USME itself hosted the alumni meetup where the BSE broker itself came and he advertised it. It's the B2B advertisement we can say, because businesses also want one of their employees to be a broker itself, and also B2C because technically students are also the consumer which they want to advertise, they want to sell their services so that the education literacy and financial literacy itself increases.
Alright folks, now time to get serious for a moment. Now let's talk about the money of Bombay Stock Exchange Limited, its assets, its liabilities, and of course its profit, because even a job costs rupees. So, as of the end of recent years, the Bombay Stock Exchange has total assets of 4,963 crores. And that includes the stuff like non-current assets that have the validity of more than a year and current assets that have validity of less than a year. And the liability of this company is
1,215 crores.
and the current liability are around 1,200 CR and the non-current liability is
Only 15.96 crores.
the revenue for that year was around
2,912 crores.
For your profit margins, it's strong, indicating their business models, exchange fees, listing, data, has scalable margins.
1,112 crores, which is 22% of the assets.
And that means with the assets of 4,963 crore, they are generating a huge amount of profit. So, are you guys wearing out the sitcom terms? They have got cash investment, they have got a little debt, and they are making a real profit. In other words, we can say that the landlord of the market, the Bombay Stock Exchange, is doing very well.
Now, with the upgrade in the podium and with my new mic, now let's talk about what does this company actually want. Well, it's technically maximizing the shareholder wealth, which is the main goal of any company which exists, at least in public sense. Well, this company wants to list as many companies as it wants in their Bombay Stock Exchange. Also, they want to maximize the shareholder wealth in their market so that it will become more attractive, and they want more traders, more buyers, more sellers and more brokers to come because it will increase their revenue. What will lead to? If an increase in revenue will lead to an increase in profit, and again it will lead to the maximizing of shareholders' wealth. One of the major obstacles in the strategy of BSE itself is the business environment of India. India's business environment is not right now for 13, 14 or even 20 trillion to compete with the New York Stock Exchange or the Chinese. To compete with it, BSE can do a very little contribution by technology, but it's up to the Indian government and the PSUs of India. If they improve, they increase the GDP of India, the traders will become more attractive to invest in the Indian economy, which is ultimately the final goal of BSE. They are the front to invest in India, not in India, just in Indian companies, Indian organizations, Indian startups. And that's the